Welcome. I'm Janet Kramer. I'm Vice Chair of the Housing Authority Housing Partnership Board, and I welcome you. It's nice to see such good resident and friend participation, so we look forward to having you share with us later in the meeting. I want to call the meeting to order, and the first task is to review the minutes and approve the minutes from the meeting of June 8th, 2015.
So,
Do I hear a second?
one correction. Mary wasn't at the meeting and it's on there.
Okay. And I had a second for the account? Okay. Any other corrections, additions to the minutes? All those in favor of approving it with the correction, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? Thank you. No abstentions?
Yes, Pat has to abstain.
Yes, you have to abstain because you were there. And you know, I think it would be very appropriate to welcome our newest commissioner, Patty Smith, as our board, and just to go around the table.
Chris Connell.
Janet Kramer, Patty Smith, and Tom Fennell. We're still waiting for Bill Bedard, and we hoped that Marshall Wheelock, who was our chair, was going to be here in my stead. So I'm chairing as best I can without him. He's been a wonderful leader. Next is to resident and citizen participation. So I invite, please give us your name and what you would like to say to the commissioners. So people are waiting for the new elevations of Red Clover Commons? Is that what?
This is the new elevation of Red Clover Commons. We don't have the final site plan. It's not too terribly different from what you've seen. This part of the building doesn't show up very well, but this is the part that has only 2 stories and was a flat roof. And the big change is that this is now going to be a pitched roof. So the whole building will have pitched roofs, is the biggest exterior change. We've also, the other big exterior change is that we have reduced somewhat the number of windows, and we've also made them more uniform across the building. They sort of went up and down and all over the place, and we've put them more in a uniform pattern along the building. So that's really the biggest change, is that it will be a completely pitched roof, and the windows have been just, few have been taken out, more than a few, and made more uniform. There have,
Excuse me.
yes.
On those windows, are they per apartment? They've lost a window, or in general, the whole building lost a window?
Geez, good question. We took windows out, especially on the first floor in the common spaces, and I don't recall whether, because there are 2 different kinds of apartments, we may have taken a window out of the bigger apartments, but I don't recall that we did. There was a whole lot of back and forth about the windows. So in the apartments that have the triangle piece, those are still the same.
And those are 3 windows?
Those are, well, they're technically 3 windows because they have this triangle piece that's 2 windows and then a window. So the interior of the apartments was not changed. We did change the common area, but the changes really make it much, much better, actually. And we changed the configuration of the offices that are next to the common area. Otherwise, really, I mean, we had to take the mechanical system from the roof and put it in the garage, you know, that kind of stuff.
I missed this, but, so the common area and the offices is the only thing on the first floor, or are there a laundry room?
There's apartments on the first floor as
Okay,
well.
and laundry room probably?
Yes, laundry room on every floor.
Oh, on every floor?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
The reason, can you give us your name? That, it just helps, since we're televising this too.
Andrea Austin Coon. Do you understand the reason why you put this triangle piece when that seems to add more to a cost of construction instead of flat? What's the purpose of this?
Oh, Housing Vermont would love you, aren't they? They want to get rid of us. The reason is because those apartments are a shade narrower than the other ones. And I, for one, felt very strongly that we needed to have this triangle to let in more light and to give that apartment more feeling of spaciousness.
Okay.
So, but Housing Vermont would have loved that comment. They would have been like, oh, we've been telling Kristen. So I think it makes for a better apartment.
Well, I like light.
So,
Yeah.
that's why we did
It
it.
just seems like a much more expensive.
It added a little bit of expense, but not a great deal. It was worth it.
And are the windows gonna be casement? Are the windows going to be casement windows or up and down, do you know?
They are up and down, and in those configurations, one is fixed and the other's operable.
Okay, thank you.
So they are mostly operable windows.
I was just wondering, that triangle apartment, is that the only windows in that apartment, or there's another one?
No, there's another window.
For the bedroom?
Yeah.
Are floor plans available?
The floor plans are still available. They haven't, as I said, the apartments haven't changed that much except for the window changes. Otherwise, the apartment layouts are the same. It's the community space that changed, and we can get that drawing for the first floor.
But, you know, can we see floor plans at this point?
Sure, we have the old floor plans.
Oh,
We've always had floor plans. We've had floor plans for months, and yes, you can see
so they
those.
have them at the office here.
Yes, we can find them and you can see them.
Thank you.
But remember that there are some changes, especially with respect to the windows
Right.
in those floor plans.
Is that Andrea?
Yes, Andrea, again, do you have the dimensions? Because I took a picture of the floor plan so that I could really look at it and share it with a sister that was visiting. But there weren't any like, this is 10 by 15 or anything.
For the apartment?
Of the apartments.
They actually are on the big board floor plans, and what I can do is mark them up tomorrow so that it's clear for people not used to reading them what the size is.
Okay, good, because I saw the 64
'Cause
by
they-
something from one side.
Well, yeah, they have a
But-
scale on them, but they're hard to read if you're not used to reading them. So
Thank you, I'm
I'll,
not.
yeah, so I'll fool around. They are on there, it's just,
Okay.
you wouldn't be used to probably looking at them unless you did that often. So
Thank you.
we can, I can write the dimensions better for like the bathroom and kitchen area and things like that. Other questions
Want to
about?
see a question here?
So only gonna be one door in and out?
No, there are a lot of doors left.
Oh, I mean, in each apartment.
To each apartment, one door, yes.
That sucked.
Yeah, well, fully sprinkled, fully alarmed.
Oh, so you
So
need,
that's
What
what-
makes it safe?
Yes,
yes, so if there's a fire, there's sprinkler systems inside each apartment.
yes,
So that's kind of keeps out our second door, because we have
Right.
safety.
that's right, that's right. So you don't, and where would you go? There's no balconies or anything.
Right, everybody's running down.
Well, you go right out. 3 stories, that'd be long fall, so there's no,
So instead
No
of
second
parachutes,
door.
they're putting in a sprinkler system.
Exactly.
right, right.
Any other comments on Red Clover Commons? No questions?
Questions? So I don't have more of a timeline than to tell you that if you've been there, the fence is up. The site has been remediated, which means it's been completely cleaned up. You can see that even the rubble of what was the building that was there is gone. And the contractor will start on about the 27th of this month, actually on the property. They've been there, they've got some things going in, but on or before then, they should be there and working. So, and I just want to remind everybody again that it is a construction site, and there will be an enormous amount of heavy equipment and all kinds of activities. So as much as you would love to go and walk there and walk right up to what they're doing, please don't do that. Stay behind the fence, and if at all possible, we will have sort of mid-construction tours, but those are very, they're pretty hard to organize because it is such a huge construction site. So let me just leave it at that. They're very, very hard to do.
Chris, is there a chance that Jack Mahoney could do some photographs and some updates on how things are going every, say, every month or every 2 months, so that residents would have some way of getting updates without having to go to the site where you can't really go on?
We will have, that's a great idea, and we can have, what we can do is Jack can put together a monthly update of photos, and we'll just have it at the office.
Great.
On a board like this, and you can just come in and see it. How's that? And I put it in the laundry room, but I don't want it to walk away. So I think we'll put it in the office, and you can always come in, and we can just put it on the desk, and you can take a look at it. But it's a good suggestion, and we will do that. Alice?
On the outside, there's not going to be any porches. Will there be a place on the grounds for lawn chairs, or?
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a sizable.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's on this side, I think. I think that's it right there. Yes. Isn't that it? No, this is the entrance. This is the front entrance. On the other side, this is the front entryway, and there's a big porch here, Alice.
I see.
Big porch here, and there are we hope to have chairs on this outside and inside. And then the big change in the community room was to reorganize it so that it made a lot of sense in terms of people being able to come out and use what will be a very nice large patio.
Oh,
And then down just off of there at a just slightly lower grade, but always a grade that meets the ADA, will be the community raised gardens that we're going to move from here over there.
awesome.
So, so there'll be this very nice big patio. We hope to have, well, we will have chairs, but we'd like to have some benching and some benches along the walkway that goes down to where the raised gardens will be. And they'll be right down off this patio, just a bit off the patio. And then we still plan on having a walkway, but it can't go, the property is odd. It's like this, and then it sort of goes like this, and then it goes like that. And at that very end, we had originally talked about having the memorial garden in there, but it ended up that we had to use it for stormwater storage, and so we sort of nixed the whole using that as a garden. We had to, so. But the grade will be such, we're not gonna have a walkway down in there, but the grade is so gentle that if people end up making a path down there, I don't care. You know, you want to walk down there when it's hot and dry, and go ahead. So,
when are we gonna find out whether we have an apartment there or not?
oh, that's a great question. Not soon. That's
Well, you have to plan.
I know, I realize that, but it will take at least 1 year to build this building. So 1 year to build it, at least. And you know, contractors have a notorious reputation for being late. And then once that is, before that is done, you will get ample notice. And the notice is, I'm trying to think of the URI notice, I think it's 60 to 90 days. There's like a 60 to 90 day formal letter that you have to get. So, and then after that, there's a whole bunch of notices. But we will be giving you information and notice as soon as possible. So that the problem is that we can only bring 55 people, as you know. And that list changes, especially down towards, it's being done by seniority of people that have been here at Melrose. So even if you lived somewhere else and came to Melrose, it's just your years at Melrose. And anybody that was here during the storm we want on that list. Okay? So the list keeps changing. People move, people leave, things happen. So that's one reason that I have not wanted to give out the list. Because somebody could not be on it today and in 3 weeks be on it. And it just seems too chaotic to be juggling people around. So we're gonna wait until we're much closer to knowing when the building will be done. And then the other thing to know about this is that the relocation costs are ours. We will pay to have you moved and re-hooked up in your new apartment. So.
What about if there's not a room for everybody? What happens to them?
There is not a room for everybody. We have 55 units.
I know. So
And
what
25 people will stay here. And we will identify the 25 safest apartments at Melrose.
Oh, so there
So-
will be some people still here?
Yes.
Oh,
So we will identify the 25 safest apartments here. And if you are not already living in one of those apartments, we will move you to one of those apartments. So people that are still at Melrose may be moved again in Melrose because we have to make sure that everybody gets into what are the safest apartments possible. To do that, we will go back and look at our records from the storm and previous flooding. And we will be vacating units and buildings that we know under different flooding scenarios have been flooded. So that's the best that we can do. And we do have floodgates if we, let's say, are vacating apartments where we have floodgates up, we'll move the floodgates if we're putting people in an apartment that doesn't have a floodgate. So we'll try to get everybody that remains in the safest possible apartment.
And will that be a permanent place then?
No, it will not.
It's only temporary till you find someplace?
Yes. As soon as Housing Vermont and Chris Hart recover from all of this.
To say nothing of the commissioners.
And you. We will start looking for the next phase 2. Everybody, all the funders, everybody knows that there's phase 2. When we were at the closing on the 16th, I turned to the Housing Vermont person and said, okay, let's get going on phase 2. And she said, don't I get a break? I said, no.
We made a commitment.
So, Wes?
I think you just answered my question. I was gonna say, what do you do with the 25 that's left?
We're gonna find a place because it's 25 of you folks, it's our offices, our entire offices need to move. And we have to move the maintenance activity that's in that big, beautiful 4 or 5 bay building over there. So,
But the 25 that are here, and stay until they get the next phase done?
They will have to stay, at least at this point, that's the plan.
But they're not gonna pick an apartment out on the avenue and say, you gotta go down there and live.
That is not the plan.
Okay, all right, thank you.
But let me tell you what the only caveat is, that if there is a flood at Melrose and we do lose occupied rental units, occupied, at any time between now and when phase 2 is ready to be occupied, we may have to help you move out into the community.
Thank you.
That's why I honestly have been working as fast as I can to get all of this done.
All right, thank you.
Okay?
Yep.
Anything else? So I will find the apartment plans and I will make clear notes on them about how big each thing is. And they will be, I'll come in and get that done. We have a staff meeting at 9. I'll get it done before then so that they'll be available after 10 o'clock. Okay? So after 10 o'clock, you'll be able to. No, it's okay. After 10 o'clock. Well, I'm just thinking of the staff. So I'll come in and do that, and then we have a staff meeting and front desk. Cindy has to be in that. She'll be out at 10. So those will be available after that, and you can take a look at them. There have, again, been some changes. We had to move some things around, but the apartments are pretty much staying exactly as they are, at least the interior of them. Okay, anything else about Red Clover, Melrose? Yes.
Parking, was there to be some underground covered parking?
Yes.
There is some.
There are 39 spaces under the building,
Those will be designated.
and they are just for residents. So there are 39 spaces under the building, they will only go to residents. And then there is exterior parking, and again, if we have that many residents that are actually driving cars, we will put residents at closest to the building. But given the numbers of cars here and at other places, I think we should be able to fit everybody underneath. Yeah, yeah. That's our hope. So,
Now, I also have business of resident interest. Is there business of resident interest that isn't Red Clover Commons? Oh, sorry, another
Wes
question.
had a question. Wes? Oh, yeah?
I'm just wondering, I know this is like far ahead, is the, I'm gonna call mailing system and packages and stuff like that, is it gonna be individual mailboxes on the different floors, or is it gonna be the kind that are locked up outdoors, you know, where people have to unlock it in order to get the mail out?
No, the way the mailboxes will be handled is that there will be a bank of mailboxes, and everybody will have their own mailbox key. It'll be like an apartment mailbox, but it'll be in the building where people can access it inside. And it'll all be locked, and they'll have a locked package system.
A locked package.
A locked package system. And the building will have a surveillance system in it.
In it.
Yeah.
That's good, because when Ed was alive, we lived in a big apartment building, and the mailboxes were outdoors, okay? That was okay, you know, stuff. But the packages had to be left on the outside of there. And one time he had a box of stuff he had ordered for, what do they call it? Not Lands End, the other one, LLB. And the lady saw it in the morning, and didn't pick it up. She was gonna bring it in, but by the time we got there, it disappeared and never found it.
Right. So we'll have a locked package system and locked mailboxes.
That's good.
Yeah. So any other questions about Red Clover, or as Janet indicated, are there other questions about Melrose? Yes?
What about the people that are living in this section of the building?
Right here,
Yeah,
like upstairs?
yeah.
They probably will stay upstairs because those apartments are pretty flood-proof. Yeah,
That's okay.
glad you did. So any other questions about this? Anything going on at Melrose? Anything going on anywhere? That we could say anything.
No, I was just wondering, those fields that are left, is there gonna be a community group thing or stuff like that? Or is that all gone?
For the people that are left,
Yeah.
oh, we're just gonna forget about them.
Maybe we're just on our own.
Yeah, you're totally.
Yeah, okay.
No, our offices will still be here. So the ratio then of residents to staff will be so great. You'll be like, when
You'll
do
get
we
personal
move? So things, the most important two people that you probably want to know about, the property manager and Sash. Sash will operate at Red Clover and here, just as they do now, and the property manager will be at Red Clover and here. So the people here will not be just
That's what I want.
forgotten about. No, no, we'll still have activities and all of that. Yeah. Okay, yes?
The heating thing, you know, once the flood happened here, the places had, they redid the heating, and a lot of apartments here have the heating up on the wall there. Do you know which way? Are we gonna have it against baseboard stuff, or will they do up top, or a whole different kind of heating thing?
It's a whole, we're going to a very state-of-the-art geothermal heating system. The good news is it's very exciting, it's very energy efficient, it's the first in the state, the first time that this system will be put in Vermont. The bad news is it's state-of-the-art, it's the first time it's being put in Vermont, and all of those things. So we're trying to have some good backup system, and we're still arguing over a generator as another part of backup. So it's a whole different heating system. And I would have to look at the plans again to see exactly where the heat venting is in the apartments. But I can tell you that it's very state-of-the-art, and not to make anybody jealous, but it is air conditioning and heating.
Awesome.
So,
But not the coils under the floor, so you have a nice buttery warm floor.
no, I can assure you it's not that.
Not that
Not that. No. But it is there will be, you can call for air conditioning in the summer. Okay? Any other questions? You're always welcome to stop by and talk to Jack, who's our project developer. As we get into construction, Jack will probably be over at Red Clover a lot. But nonetheless, you can always leave your name and your phone number. He'd be happy to visit with you. And I will always be, well, when I'm here, I will make myself available to you should you have questions about the project or Melrose or any of that.
There's still two bedrooms?
There are. Yes. All right? Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, it is.
So we're moving on to reviewing staff reports. Delighted to have you stay or leave. And the first one is the monthly property update. from Chelsea and Courtney.
Janet, you go off for a minute because the noise is drowning you out.
So, we do need to have elections for new officers. And if you would like to do that tonight, we can do that tonight, or if you would like to wait and do that at your September meeting, we can do it then. But new officers do need to be elected. So it's really, I just serve as the clerk for elections, so it's really up to
And I
you all.
stepped in as vice chair.
You did,
so that,
thank you.
I think we should just get it over with.
Whatever.
Something that we don't have to wait on.
And since we are all potential chairs, so
Yeah.
may we ask you to
Oh,
step in?
I do, yes. Oh, yes. So I will call for a nomination for the chair of the Board of Commissioners.
Janet Kramer.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
And are there any other nominations for chair? Are you willing to take this if you are
I'm
so
willing and
elected?
honored, and will do the best job I can.
Okay. All those in favor of Janet Kramer as the chair, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Okay. And now could I have a nomination for vice chair?
I'm going to nominate Tom Fennell.
Second?
I can't
Really?
second it.
No, you
No, but I take that as a willingness to serve.
I'll serve it.
Okay, great.
That's chair and vice, right?
Yes, it is.
You should be very good at that, Tom.
All those in favor of Tom Fennell as vice chair, almost got me to do it, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed and any abstentions?
I will abstain.
Okay.
Okay,
And you do not need to,
we have you as
I
secretary.
remain as secretary, unless somebody else wants to be secretary.
Your minutes are excellent, and we are grateful that it works that way. Okay, and we
Good.
move then to
Thank
review
you.
written reports. Starting with the monthly property update from Chelsea Menus and Courtney D'Onofrio on the yellow. And pay as you throw. This is week one.
No,
No,
it's
we're up to
actually,
week
we're in week three.
Well,
But,
this-
oh, this was week one.
This was week
Yes.
one.
Week one was a disaster, everywhere. It really was. It was a disaster. Week two was terrific.
Good.
And we have every expectation that week 3, 4, and 5 will continue to be so. I mean, an absolute total change.
That's very good news.
Yeah.
And moving on to the rent collections performance report. On the right. And at the back of that, the move out and move in reports.
And I do want to say, Mary can add more, but at Ledgewood, we have had at least one resident with a significant balance due that paid. So that should
Very
be
good
better.
news.
Nice.
Yes,
That should be
indeed.
better.
We wish there were more.
Yeah.
And that was what brought them up to 81%, or? what-
No, at Ledgewood,
It was
this
after-
is
It was
at
actually
6.
after the report.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right,
it
that
was
was
6
67.
Ledgewood was 68%, and
Mhm.
they paid after this report was generated,
So
so it's
that-
better.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apropos of that, perhaps before we go to the other written
Oh,
reports, the approval of write-offs for a total of $1,780.
and 28 cents.
at 28 cents.
And we would ask that you approve these write-offs. Pat, just for your information, while we ask the board to approve the write-off and we write the debt off of the formal accounts, it does not mean that we cease to recover the rent due.
Still trying to get it.
The debt, yeah.
We aren't people.
Do I hear a motion to approve these write-offs?
I will move.
I'll second.
Any discussion before we vote? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Abstentions? Okay, that's approved.
Thank you.
Other reports. The pink July agenda to family self-sufficiency. And summer is here and the living is PAYT. So
Yeah.
I'm sensing a,
It was that week.
Yes.
I agree, I hate it.
well, getting used to any change like that is something. I was interested that Lucy and Denise, Lucy was saying that she took there are 3 of us here who took a grant writing workshop offered
Yes.
through the Vermont Food Bank, which is great. And any other comments on the family self-sufficiency?
I like that they've reached 75.
Yes.
They've reached the magic number.
Yes, we believe that they have. They're double checking that with HUD. And our grant writer is right now writing the grant. So we need to be at 75.
And the other milestone is that we have about $50,000 in total escrows.
Wow.
At this point.
That's fantastic.
Since I have been hearing on the radio concerns about how in the housing configuration that it's been impossible for people to build up equity. This is a great program.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So then the resident services monthly report, yellow, from Lorelei.
I will always start with, it's been a productive month.
Yes. But more pay as you throw.
No, yeah. Nobody could help themselves.
Right. Well, that's significant.
Yeah, no, it was,
It was
and
a
I have to
great job.
commend the staff. They did a great job. I mean, it was really everybody. It was the property managers, service staff, everybody together really worked on helping residents get through it the first time, and really then after that, residents realized I didn't do it right. How do I do it right? And staff really took a lot of time with people. So.
And residents helped each other as well.
They did, yeah.
I was just thinking that since we have to buy bags, sharing a bag might help people.
Yeah.
And the fact that the summer food kickoff with the Boys and Girls Club apparently went successfully. Successfully fed 270 children and families. That's quite remarkable.
Going back to the bags, is there other people that don't get out that have a problem getting bags?
We have not heard of anybody.
Okay, I was just wondering
No.
about that.
No. I think, given our neighborhoods, that if somebody needs bags and they're not getting out, then whomever is getting them food
Okay,
will also be able to pick up their bags.
okay.
And it could be another neighbor, could be
Yeah.
family.
And we have the family feature, which is, I'm delighted with, offering activities and things for the summer for Lorelei Morissette's doing. And Sash,
Yes.
and as usual, Sash Flash is getting people going, quite literally. The Brattleboro Housing Partnership, Housing Choice Vermont, administrator. Can you fill us in a bit more on these, please?
The administrative changes?
Yes.
These are changes to our housing choice voucher administration plan. They just actually bring our plan up to date with policies that have been put in place under a temporary provision that HUD allowed and then made a more permanent. And so this just formalizes that, and it cleans up some little sections of it, but it's mostly those things which we had already presented to you, boy, over a year ago, when HUD said that under the voucher program we could do these certain things on a
The
temporary
biennial
basis.
inspections, for an example,
Yes.
rather than annual inspections.
Right, and now we can make them a permanent part of the plan, so we're just doing that.
Excellent. And this is for our information
And adoption.
and adoption. Do I hear a motion to adopt the Section 8 Administrative Plan proposed provisions?
So moved.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Tom. Do I hear a second?
You looked at me, huh?
I hear, either ear.
Was that Tom?
Yeah.
Tom?
Yes,
Okay,
Tom.
thank you.
Come on, Bill, you can make motions now.
Oh, no, I used to be doing most of those, so it's kind of nice to sit back here and
Okay.
have somebody else.
Somebody else, yeah.
So it has been moved and seconded to adopt the Section 8 Administrative Plan proposed revisions. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Abstentions?
Okay.
Then the property redevelopment management.
Yes, Jack was on vacation this weekend, so he didn't put one in.
That's what I was wondering.
But I do want to say this, there's been a lot of discussion at the Highrise, Tom. And about the sliders and whether we are in fact putting them in. And we're getting calls that the word in the Highrise is that we are not doing them. And we are doing them.
Anybody that's asked me, I've told them it's in the works.
I just want for those that may watch this and just to remind the people at the Highrise that in fact we are doing it. We have the bid package. It has been received. We are reviewing it. It's going to be out shortly and we will have that project done this year. So, no, there's speculation.
Why don't you put up a little note we can hang by the elevator?
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good idea.
yeah, we'll just put up, that's a good idea.
Mhm.
We, well, I've kept you up to date. I mean, we have run into this snag and that snag, but we're gonna get it
It's been a
done
long
this year.
time coming. there's no
Oh,
doubt.
I know.
I think some of our residents are losing faith.
I know.
Wouldn't be surprised if you were losing faith.
No.
The difficulties of meeting differing requirements.
Oh, yeah, it's
That was,
been tough.
that was why.
Yeah.
Okay, since we don't have a written report from the property redevelopment manager, we'll go on to Red Clover Commons, which we've already talked about a little bit. But is there more, the closing documents, project went to full closing, including construction financing on June 11th. Funding application will be made to the Federal Housing.
Federal Home Loan Bank. It's the
Federal Home Loan Bank.
affordable housing program that we didn't make the numbers last time. Now we know better. We're gonna resubmit.
Great. How to approvals?
We don't need any right now.
Brownfield update.
All done, and as I said, we've even removed the rest of the building. So
The community planning for the future of Melrose.
the last big piece that we had to do was this Brook study. It has been done, we have received it, and we are now in the process of reviewing it, and we will be probably meeting with the small Melrose team once we've thoroughly digested it. It was very, very well done, and the state natural resources folks that are the waterway, stream, and FEMA people have looked at it, and they are very pleased with it.
That's considering they have been a large hurdle for us, that's good news.
We wanted them to be very pleased with it.
Right, exactly. Okay. Work session for new, old, and other business. The monthly check listing. Check signing in July was Chris, is Chris.
Is Chris.
And August, Tom.
I'm expecting it.
And September, I'm expecting it.
I'm gonna have to do new signature.
Oh,
cards.
yes, you are.
New key cards, okay.
Yeah. So Pat can't do it until you've done that.
That's correct.
But she has a couple of months before
Yes.
she has.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There's always October.
We're not letting her off.
Well, would you like to, once Mary gets all of these cards completed, what it means is coming in on Fridays to countersign the checks that go out each week. And you really know what goes.
task.
Thousands?
No, there aren't.
Each commissioner does this, Pat.
You take a month, each of us takes a
You
month.
just, yeah.
And update on budget work.
Would you like to do October?
Sure.
All right.
Great.
That'll give Mary a reason to get these card business.
Yes. Well, two things. One is, Chris passed on to me your request for sort of where these checks go in the general ledger, how they get expensed.
Yeah.
I could not find any good way to get any
Okay.
such report that was
Okay.
less than like 15 pages.
Okay.
You probably didn't want that.
No.
No. The big ones are usually pretty obvious because it's
Yeah.
usually Green Mountain
This is a
Power.
listing of the checks.
It's always Green Mountain Power.
It's always Green Mountain Power. And the other big ones like AmTrust North America, Workers' Comp.
You pay them a lot of money, they shouldn't go 5 or 6 hours without the lights coming back on yet.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
that's the truth. Yeah, that was another Green Mountain Power.
Well,
So-
and we're very happy about the two for Malone and McBroom, because those were the folks doing our H&H study. They're on the second
Right.
page, it was about 25,000. So,
And the town of Brattleboro, that was our payment in lieu of taxes for the year. So, I think those are the highlights.
What is AmTrust North America?
That's our workers' comp insurance.
Oh, okay.
You'll see a few more big insurance ones because
In
everything
July.
is due
Yeah,
in July.
I saw that.
Um,
Cindy gave me a pile and she said, well, this is a really little pile. I said, no, this isn't a little pile. I said, this is kind of a medium to large pile.
and a lot of money.
Yeah. As far as budget work goes, I think we have two groups that are meeting and working. I think the administrative group, I think the biggest benefit actually is that everybody is now conscious of budget. The administrative group will save maybe a couple thousand here, a couple thousand there. The bigger savings are likely to come from the maintenance group where there are large items if we can find a way to install, for example, thermostats would have a maximum temperature. I can't remember the name of them, but that would perhaps reduce the heat bill. If we can find ways to not treat sidewalks that we don't have to have clear in the winter, that might save on the snow. Those are the kinds of things where there could be some substantial savings.
And the reconfiguration to refocus your work, is that really
Lovely.
nice? That's great.
It makes so much sense.
It does.
Yeah. And one other thing that I want to sneak in, I got paperwork from our auditors who will be here the first week of August to do field work, and they have an inquiry of those charged with governance, several questions for you to fill out, yes, no, and then sign. If I could ask you to do that and give it back to me. We just need one of you,
Okay.
so.
We'll let
That's
the
what
chair-
it is.
I think, yes,
I think the chair would be appropriate, and then I can send it back to them. That's it for me.
And the next thing on the agenda is to enter executive session to discuss a matter where premature public information would be detrimental to the organization. Do I hear a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Thank you, Bill. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Mary, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.